everybody done the Myers-Briggs type indicator? Yeah, good on you. So you know what personality profile you are?
This was 8 years ago.
Okay. You don't remember what you were?
No, I've got it hidden somewhere.
Got it hidden somewhere. Okay. So we're going to take a moment and do a little test.
Do you actually change if you've done it a long time ago?
I think you can change. Particularly if you've done, this is only going to be a very brief one, but if you've done a detailed one and if you've got a couple of scores that are quite close to each other, depending on the mood of the day, you may flip from one to the other and one might become more. So what you should end up with then is 4 letters from each pair of letters that would be more like you. And I'll just go quickly through this and then I'll give you a little sheet that's got a bit of a description on it for you. So the first set of questions is around how you get re-energised. And some of us get more re-energised from being in relationship or being in the company of people around us. And some of us get more energised by just being quietly in our own company, and both are totally appropriate. So there's no right or wrong here, there just is. Okay. How many E's have we got in here that have got a predominant E? Oh, wow. Okay, it's about 50-50. Okay. And then the next scale is how do you see the world and gather information? Do you use your senses, as in touch, taste, feel, smell, or do you go intuitively? Do you just go on a hunch and trust your hunch? How many S's in here? Okay. So the rest of you are N's, which is a predominant. Yeah. Okay. And the next question is, how do you make your decisions? Do you think or do you feel? How many thinkers? Okay, we're fairly even and feelers are the rest of you. Yeah. Okay. And this is one place where I think my husband and I really do some amazing stuff. He's a thinker and I'm a feeler. Sometimes they conflict, but generally if we can acknowledge each other for our capacity to think or to feel, and I tend to go intuitively as well. So, you know, I have an idea, I go for it. He wants to sit there and think about it for a bit longer, and he might be also called a procrastinator. But, you know, together we pull each other through. He slows me down and I speed him up. So
does this actually reflect the difference in gender then?
My first response to that is no. I don't think so. I think both can be represented equally in gender. Are you thinking otherwise?
No, I was just thinking about the change that I've made. Because now, I've gone from a very female-oriented environment, and now I'm in a very male-oriented environment. So it's interesting that I've actually changed.
You know my hunch about that, as I'm sort of thinking it through, my hunch is that you actually haven't lost the other. My hunch is that you have actually expanded your skills to actually be able to be both. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because it means that you can be a little bit of a chameleon. You can manage yourself in either environment. You got it? Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, there's a sense that, okay, maybe I've actually changed, but maybe not. Maybe I've just become more of, and I can adapt myself to the environment that I happen to be in at the time. So at home you can be mum, and at work you can be the boss. Okay? That made some sense? Yeah. And that's great. That's great. And the last question is about how much do you like to plan ahead? Judges are organised and structured. Yep. Oh, there's a few of you. Okay. And the perceivers are much more casual and relaxed and laid back and allow things to just flow. Okay. So you then end up with one of 6 personality profiles. So grab one, pass them on. this, it's really just a matter of finding your combination of letters from the EI, N, whatever, NS, FJ, and, sorry, F, what's that one, T, and the JP profile. Is everyone okay with that? Has everyone been able to find themselves from doing that exercise? Is anybody struggling? Okay. So just take a moment to read through your profile and see whether or not it actually fits for you. You might find that intuitively, the way you answered those questions may indeed describe you. Gotcha? Yeah? I think where this may become a benefit if you actually want to do the exercise is that if you find yourself really high on one score, and by the way, if you want to do an expansion of this exercise, just Google Myers-Briggs type indicator or personality types. You'll find a million different ways of, structuring this exercise. I've just done a really brief one. But what you might find is if you do this exercise and you find yourself very strongly, in one dimension or another, then it might be important to actually take a closer look at that, because it might actually be narrowing your life. That might be the only good of it. Okay, so I'm not saying that the closer your scores are on both scales, the better, not necessarily, but it might be that if I am so this or so that, then it actually might be limiting me a little bit, and it might be that, okay, some of these things that I don't have, maybe I need to actually expand those or develop those or embrace those into my personality. Personalities tend to stay fairly stable, but there are some modifications to that, and it may be just in the terms of adjusting to different environments that we find ourselves in.